Hello you, and welcome to this video. It's finally a little bit cooler, so I'm off out for my first proper drive on the EV1C, an intelligent wheelchair by Strutt. This is sport mode, and it's very smooth on this road. It's something I would not have done in my other chair at all, or I could not have done it. I'm going to cross over here onto the grass. Unfortunately, there was no pavement where we were. Right, let's go back down into 4 miles an hour on the pavement. Sport mode is great for when you really have to get across the road quickly, or there is no pavement. Which is what we're going to have to do over here, because the pavement is over the other side there. And we need to get over to the drop curb over here. We will put the EV1 into sport mode, and that gives us 8 miles an hour. Okay, I think we're clear. Oh, that was a really bad bit of road, but I didn't feel a thing. We'll go back down to 4 miles an hour, and off we go. Now this has some really bad bumps and lumps in the pavement. Is that a little doggy I hear? That's all right. It's a bit of a weird thing to see for him. It's one thing with being in the chair, you're very strange to some dogs, especially little puppies have seen nothing like it before. This is rattling. Currently you're mounted on this pole with the Insta360 camera on the universal mount, which is this, kindly provided in the box with the wheelchair. Unfortunately, for the first part of this video, there was a really annoying rattle. Now that's not the EV1 causing that, it's my camera equipment attached on the pole. So right now I'm trying to sort that out. That's better. I think I've got rid of the camera rattle. Whee! Now I have to say that this ride is far superior than the last wheelchair that I did a journey down this pavement on, which is when I went to the Friskley Village show, and I'll show you a clip of what that looked like here now. And you'll be able to see at sometimes the pavement tilted to the left and I went straight into the road. Well, this feels far more stable and very comfortable indeed, and I'll let you know when I come up to that point to where I drifted off into the road, and we'll see exactly how the motorised front wheels work on the EV1. Not quite fast enough to come up on the speed sign. We are coming up to where I went left, so I'm driving forwards right here, and the EV1 is tilted over to the left, but driving in a straight line, which is perfect. The EV1 is tilted over to the left, but driving in a straight line. On my other chair, that just went straight into the road. Now what's not perfect is someone's working in the street and there's no dropped curb. I'm going to have to go back on myself and use the drop curb behind me. It was extremely dry weather here in Lincolnshire, and it was only going to get worse. Right, let's see. We want to go down this time. And over. Utilising the S mode. The motors sound very futuristic. and we arrive safely up the dropped curb. We got over there nicely. And these payments are rather bad. Yet the EV1 is coping marvellously. They're lumpy, they're bumpy, but the suspension is soaking it up and giving me a lovely ride. That little noise I made was because I forgot totally where the entrance to this public footpath was. But as you can see, I found it. Hopefully the path is quite clear, and I know it goes a bit off-roading and has a little bridge, so we'll see what that condition's like and if it's been cut. There's no one around, so let's go for a little bit of speed, shall we? Not the full 8 miles an hour, but we are going about 5. 1 mile an hour extra, which I would not do if there was anyone around or if I was on a different pavement. We get a nice view of the Lincolnshire countryside. I don't know if you can hear the motors, but they have a nice kind of futuristic whine about them in a good way. They sound powerful and reliable. Now here's the bridge, which I have to go over. You can barely feel the slats in the wood on the chair because of the suspension. I wonder if it's too windy for my drone.
3, 2, 1.
It was very windy and the drone was struggling. I then received a phone call, so I thought it was a good idea to call the drone back. And after the drone nearly hit me in the face, I was definitely starting to think it was a bit windy. I was hoping to do an epic collection of drone shots here, but instead you've got it wiggling about a bit and trying to attack me. I think it's slightly windy for the drone, because I think my hat might blow off as well, so little things struggling just a bit. But maybe the shot's alright. I think I'll call it back because I don't want to lose it in the grass. Thank you, drone. I can't get over how smooth the ride is on this chair. You can just make out a Chinook in the distance. The tractors were busy in the field creating a lot of dust, which I didn't want to drive through. I just missed a Chinook, unfortunately. We are now on a less smooth path, but the EV1's handling the bumpiness really nicely. I'm going fast along here because I don't want to get covered in the dust from the tractors. Right, well that's that test for now. It's time to head back the way we came and see how it handles once again, and get a few more nice shots while I'm out. And off we go back the way we came. I won't be going this speed if there's any people around, but otherwise it's going to take forever. Still a little bit windy for the old drone, I'm afraid. I couldn't resist testing the new camera that I had. A nice view of the church. I then decided to head towards the village hall for some more testing. That blooming camera stick, it's always falling down. What I didn't expect to see were cows. Hello, cow. Are you a good cow? Hello. Moo. Here I am in this car park, a very wide open space with some cows behind me watching, and I'm going to test out the self-driving capabilities. Now, having just driven through this car park, the EV1 has mapped most of it out, so I'm going to select a spot on the floor and see if it drives to it. To do this, I'm going to select the map, and then I am going to scroll and find a little spot, perhaps here, which I'll tap and now click on start, and the EV1 is navigating its way to where I want to go. And we've arrived at the destination. I'm now going to test the co-pilot mode on this chair and try driving straight at the bollard in front of me. If this works, then I will not hit the bollard and the chair will stop. Let's have a look. To do this, I press the C on the chair, which selects co-pilot mode, and now I can drive at the bollard. And there we go. It sensed it in front of me, as you can see on the screen, and I've stopped without hitting the bollard. Let's try that again. And that was me doing full force on the joystick, and it stops. I've also got this rather handy backup camera, which you can see. And now I'm going to do Co-Pilot Plus, which will allow it to drive around the object on its own. Right, I'm going to drive at the bollard and the EV1 should navigate around it. Which it did. And I did not do that. I just held this joystick in the same place. Let's have a look again at that. I'm just going to hold it, drive at the bollard, and there we go. The EV1's gone around it. And again, we drive at the bollard, and it's gone around. Smashing, or not smashing, as the case may be. Look, Ma, no hands. Now I'm going to test out the waypoints. So I'm going to create a map and I'm going to call this one car for now, just for car park. Click OK, and because we have that selected, I'm going to add a waypoint where we are, which is right next to the door of the village hall. I'll just call this hall, and I'm going to drive to the other end of the car park. Actually, first I'm going to drive to this disabled bay here. And we'll call this waypoint chair because I'm on the wheelchair, and go back. I'm going to drive along here, and we are going to go and have a look towards the cows and create another waypoint over here. And while this is all happening, the LiDAR sensors are scanning the car park as we drive around. So now we are at the bins. So I'm going to make another waypoint and call this bin. And now, if I go back and click on waypoints, I want to go to the village hall. I'll press hall, click start, and the EV1's now decided on a route that is going to follow, albeit slightly slower than I drive, but it is doing a lot of work in the background. And it's going to go back towards the village hall, and I'm doing nothing, absolutely hands-free. As you can see, I'm not touching the joystick, but I'm aware of the surroundings, and if anything happens, then I can grab the joystick, give it a nudge, and I can take over. And I think you have to agree that just as I was about to compliment the EV1, it stopped. And I think you have to agree that's pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed, but it did stop. Now, it does look like we've stopped, but they do say that in large open spaces it's not really built for that. It's built for more inside or with more objects around, and there's no objects here, so the EV1's got a little bit lost where it is, which is understandable in a wide open space. I then decided I would try one more time. I drove round and scanned the entire area. Okay, I've given the EV1 a good old drive round, and now it should have a full map of the car park, but it is such an open space, I don't blame it if it does get slightly lost. The map is currently green, which means it's realised where it is. So let's try navigating to the village hall door, which is behind me. So we go to waypoints, we go to hall, and click start, and hands-free. The EV1 is deciding on its route and should take me to the village hall door facing it, because it remembers the orientation that you were in at the time, unless you choose not to save that. And here we are at the destination. Now let's have a little trip to the wheelchair space, which is chair. Let's go there. And you can see on the screen the picture of the chair, so it fits itself in, and we've arrived. Excellent. Next up, we're going to do the real test, which is the bins. So you go to waypoints, bin, start, and we'll see if it gets lost. If it does, then that's quite acceptable, because this is a very wide open space with no kind of details for it to know where it is. little bit of a pause there while it calculated the route. It's a little uncertain where it is because of the wide space. I think it's trying to use the trees and the fence as guidance. It's lost where we are, which is fair enough because it's very open, but it has got us quite close, seeing as the bin is just over there. So I think that's not very bad at all. Of course, the true proper test of this will be when I'm inside somewhere like Tesco or perhaps the Sea Life Centre, as that's what it's built for. Well, I think the EV1 performed perfectly and as expected. And as this is my own chair I bought with my own money, I'll show it when it works and when it doesn't work. The good and the bad. Though I'm yet to experience anything really bad. It's not designed for very large open areas, as in such places like this car park, the LiDAR scanner's range has nothing to see, therefore it can get lost. And I'm pretty sure if you couldn't see what was around you too, you'd also get lost. I was then very hot and it was time to head back. If you like what you've seen in this video, please give the video a like and subscribe for more content like this video and more adventures. Coming up, the continuation of my London trip, Hemsby Fun Day, a trip to the Premier Inn with my EV1, a model village, the Sea Life Centre and some fireworks. See you again soon and tatty bye.